Hi, I'm Leonie West from Westerly Design, and I'm going to show you our AppleCore template. It's based on the traditional pieced AppleCore, but we're going to use it as a quilting design instead of a piecing design. In the set we have 3 different sizes, and those 3 sizes are 1 inch, 2 inch and 3 inch. So you have a nice variety of template size to use. So if you were doing a larger block, you might use the 3 inch one. 2 inch for a mid-size block, you can put that on a small block also. And the little 1 inch one is great for smaller blocks, but would be a beautiful fill behind a design on an 18 inch block also. Our AppleCore template is marked with reference lines and has some numbers on it. The numbers are important: 1, 2, 3 and 4. When we sew this design, we start at 1, so 1 to 2 to 3. We then slide the template across, so 1 goes to 3, and sew it again. We're sewing it in rows of half the design and then coming back and sewing the other half. You'll get used to knowing where you're going without using these numbers, but for some of the other designs it's a good way for me to teach you how to do it. We have a reference line coming down through here and here. We have a reference line going across the top, one across the bottom. They're the important lines for doing our standard basic AppleCores. We are going to line this line up and that line up with either the edge of our block or a marked square as I have here. So I'll just move it to here to show you how I line it up. One line going down the line here and one going across at the top. That's our important start point. Bring our threads up at number 1. And we will sew from 1 to 2 to 3. So we're sewing just the top half of our design. If we were to sew the whole design, we would be backtracking all over the place. Because we're only sewing the top half and then the bottom half, we slide across now, making sure that that reference line is still straight across the top. Because we sew this way, we only have backtracking on one side, and on this design I'll end up with my backtrack over on the left. Otherwise, if I was doing the whole design, I would have to backtrack up to here. So it's a double backtrack all the way through. You can do that if you wish. This is easier, and you don't get the double line that can look heavier on one portion than the other. So we're just going to do one more, and that will get us to this side. Always stop with your needle down. It holds everything in place. Needle and fabric remain together, and you can just slide that template across. Come down the next side. We stop right on that line. We're now going to sew from 3 to 4 to 1. Our template has a curved end to it, a stop point, and this is the same as our Westerly Design stop point that we put on a lot of our templates, and it makes it possible to keep the foot in place and then slide your template across to the next position. That shape has been designed to just hug the foot, and we're just sliding across. I'm checking these lines here, making sure they line up with the point of the one I sewed before. We have a number of different reference points to keep us on track. If you were doing a large area, I would probably put in an honesty line this is a 2 inch deep pattern, so maybe every 6 or so inches I would just put a line that runs across and make sure that I am staying straight and I'm not working my way on an angle. We come sew this one back up to our starting point. We're going to backtrack here. Stop at 4. We'll now slide the template down. We're going to sew from 2 to 1. This will be backtracked as well. It's a repeat of our first row now. but we need to be able to get back in to the correct position. So this is the side where I have my backtracking. As you can see, this is a really easy design to sew, very relaxing. You just sit there and follow the lines. My line up here is now touching the bottom of the one from before, so it's another reference check to make sure I stay straight. Touch the point and come back down. Slide across, check that reference line. Come up, touch the point of the one from before. Down to 3. Slide across. I now have the reference line here to give me an extra check. It only takes a second to check those reference lines, but it's worth checking them out. So now we've dipped back to 3, and we're going to just sew across the other way. This is my 2-inch one. The block I'm working on is an 8-inch block, and I get 4 complete patterns across. So that's easy to work the maths out on, being 2 inches and being an 8-inch block. We could have put the 1-inch one in here as well, and I would have had 8 patterns going across. We're nearly finished the second row, and that is half of my block complete. And really it's check those reference lines. I'm looking to this line's in place, that line's in place. And this is the last one for the row. So I hope that shows you how to do the AppleCore. I'll just bring my threads up here, move that out, and as you can see, that's my AppleCore design. This is our 2-inch AppleCore sewn. This is the 3-inch AppleCore. And again 2-inch in a different colourway. 3-inch on cream, which I think looks absolutely beautiful. Bigger design, you could now in here put something else. You could have a diamond that runs up in here. You could have a circle in here. There is so much more you can do. And this is the AppleCore where I'm changing how the position of it is, and I've created clamshells in here with an AppleCore in between, then a clamshell going the opposite way, another AppleCore, another clamshell. So that's another thing you can do with it. And using it as a background fill, I've put a Spinifex in to the centre of my block and just used the AppleCore to fill in the background. So I hope you have fun playing with our Westerly Design AppleCore templates.